Hey everyone, welcome back to the garage. Today we've got this office chair base that my future father-in-law asked me if I could repair. I figured I could walk you through how I'm going to fix this and then go over some ways that basic welding skills can save you some money around your house. So the first thing I'm going to do is mark all the cracks so I make sure I get them all and can see them a little bit better. Obviously there was the big crack down the edge, the smaller one there across the top, and then there was a teeny one starting right over here. Now that I've got all the cracks marked, I'm going to start the prep work. First I'm going to use a Scotch-Brite disc to remove all the paint. While I'm cleaning this up, welding can save you quite a bit of money. This chair may not seem like a big deal, but if you needed to replace this chair, it'd probably be right around $150, if not a little bit more. This is a high back, pretty nice office chair, and the only thing wrong with it was these cracks that started in the base. This is actually the second chair I've repaired for my fiance's parents. The first was a dining room chair. They had a set of 6 chairs and one of them broke a leg off, and I was able to repair that and keep them from having to buy another set of 6 chairs. So here's the top all cleaned up, and the next thing I'm going to do is get out the grinding wheel, and I'm going to put a little bit of a groove around all of these cracks so the weld has somewhere to go. You never want to just try and repair a crack by welding on the surface. You really need to get the weld to penetrate and be a little bit wider than the crack is to ensure that it's a strong weld. As you can see, there's nothing fancy about these grooves. It's just a place for the weld to go, and it'll all get covered up once it's done anyways. I'm just going to use my flux machine for this. I wanted to TIG weld it, but I was out of gas, so this will have to do. I figured it'll also show that a Flux Core welder is actually a pretty capable machine for stuff like this. Now I'm on to the welding, and I started with the smaller cracks first so I could keep track of them before they got covered up with slag and soot from the flux. I apologize for the autofocus. I forgot to lock it and the camera was having a hard time with the welding shots. I don't think people realize how much money you can save by having some basic welding skills in a simple setup. Of course, you've got your initial investment in the welder and the safety gear that goes along with it. However, a few repairs can really pay that off. As I said, this chair probably would have cost around $150 or so to replace. And the other chair that I fixed to replace that set, so you had a full set of 6 chairs, probably would have been over $1,000. They were all swivel chairs with casters on them. I think there are a lot of people out there who equate welding to fabricating and not to repairing things, so they often overlook learning how to weld because they don't have anything that they want to build. I'll be the first one to admit that I didn't realize how many things got thrown out due to stuff like stress cracks or small pieces breaking off that are an easy repair if you have basic welding skills, until I started to weld myself. It's amazing what you find in the garbage or dumpsters when you're looking for scrap metal that get thrown out, when all they really needed was a small repair to be put back into service. So on this crack that developed on the edge of this chair base, I originally wanted to bend it back into place. However, when I started to do that, I could tell that there was a lot of tension still left there, so I decided just to fill this whole crack with weld instead, since nobody will ever see it once the chair's put back on. Reintroducing that tension back into this chair base could result in another stress crack here in the future. And of course, are you even welding if there's not a fire? Here's the base all cleaned up, and of course I forgot I was recording until I had already ground everything down. But you can see there's a couple little voids there, nothing too serious, and this is a chair that's going to be indoors, so I wasn't too concerned with that. And the edge turned out pretty nice. It looks a little goofy here just because of the angles from the flap wheel, but it is all pretty smooth and there are no grooves. And then I threw a coat of paint on it, and that was it. I hope this video gave you some valuable information and opened your eyes to some things you can fix around your home or shop if you learn some basic welding skills. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.